Hello, and welcome to MACKELIFE 2024 launch. I have created 2 videos this year. This video is for the person who is brand new to MACKELIFE and needs a full overview of how the system works, the goal setting, how it's been useful to me, which product you might want to buy based on your needs, all of that information. If you've used MACKELIFE in the past and you're familiar with the system and you just want to see the accessories and the changes for 2024, jump to the other video that I have. I will link it in the description. But if you're brand new, stay here and let's dig into this. Okay, so you're brand new and you're interested in the MACKELIFE system. I'm excited for you. The first thing that I want to help you decide is which planner system is right for you. You have 4 different options, but we're going to make this easy. If you have a planner that you absolutely love and are not willing to give up, maybe it's Erin Condren, Lights Planner Action, Laurel Denise, Plum Paper, the list goes on, and you want to integrate the MACKELIFE goal setting system into your planning style, these companion notebooks are the answer for you. If you don't have a planner that you're loyal to, or you're ready for a change, the flagship planner, 12-month dated planner, is right for you. If you prefer daily planning and like having a page for every single day, and that's the only way that planning works for you, then the daily planner from MACKELIFE is for you. And if you don't want to have any paper at all and you want everything to be on your iPad, digital is the way for you. Digital, I'm not going to talk about at all. I have some friends that use digital. They're going to be able to tell you so much more about digital than I could even begin to. I've only just played around with it a little bit. You can do some awesome stuff in there, but it's not what I do. I like having the paper to touch. I am going to talk to you about the flagship and the companion notebooks and some of the accessories that you might like if you decide to go with these. But what I really want to take you through is the goal setting system, which is the same in any of the 4 options that I described. So let's move the flagship so we don't get confused. These are companion notebooks. So they come as a set of these 4 notebooks plus this booklet. And you can choose this in 2 different colors this year. There's this pink and purples theme, and then there's also a blue and green theme. And these are $58. So I'm going to talk you through the goal setting portion, which is this first booklet. And this is going to be the same as what's in the flagship, as what's in the daily planner, as what's in the digital. So once we've talked through the goal setting here, you're going to understand how MACKELIFE works. And then it's just which system do you want to use to keep up with it, basically. Okay, so goal setting. We have a welcome page written by Sierra, the founder of MACKELIFE, also just an amazing human being. Getting started guide with some just information about what you're doing, kind of helps you get into it, gives you some affirmations, learn to rest, not quit, put you in the right mindset, talks you through the steps that you're going to take to set your annual goals. So you're going to complete a compass assessment, you're going to set your intentions, set your annual goals and your vision, and then each month you'll set monthly goals, each week you'll set weekly actions, and then each month you'll reflect, and each quarter you'll do a review. And all of these things are basically made into worksheets for you. So this sounds scary kind of at first, but it's gonna come just step by step, basically fill in the blank. So the first thing that you come to is the compass assessment. And the goal of this is to really establish a starting point for where you are in the 8 areas of life that MACKELIFE recommends splitting your goals into. So those areas are personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial and physical environment. In the MACKELIFE system, each of these areas of life carries this color throughout all of the different systems that you use. So in my life, physical environment is gray to me now. I'm so used to the system. Financial is green. You kind of learn that. So the life compass is your starting point. It's hard to see here, but this compass has basically numbers from 1 to 10 of how well you're doing in that area. So a 1 might indicate that, you know, you want to set some goals and really focus on trying to improve that area, whereas a 10 might indicate that you know, have mastery in that area, and it's one that you can really just put on maintenance mode and not focus improvement towards. The way that you fill out this life compass is by flipping the page and filling out this assessment. So there's 8 questions per area of life. So you fill these out, you score them from 1 to 10, and then you average them, and you use that score that's an average over here to fill out your compass. So I am a learn by example person, so I'm gonna grab my 2023 planner and show you what mine looks like so that you can kind of understand how this works. Here is my 2023 planner, and this is my completed life compass from the beginning of the year. So it's all filled out, and this is the assessment that I used to fill it out. So for each area, I answered the 8 questions, and then I found the average and then moved that score over here. So this is how you see kind of, and it's a great way to look, and you know, just at a glance, I can see here my financial area is the best area of my life, and health and wellness is the lowest area. The circled numbers are basically at the beginning of the year where I wanted that area of life to move to. So if it is like personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, those are all basically just, I wanted them to stay the same. I wanted them to be maintenance. I didn't see need for them to improve because I'm happy with where the score is. Family and relationships, I wanted that to move up 1. Health and wellness, I wanted that to move up a couple. Spiritual and personal growth, wanted it to move up. Physical environment, wanted it to move up. You get the idea. So let me put my planner to the side so we can talk back to this, and we'll pull it out for examples as we go. So at this point, you would have your life compass filled out, and it would help you indicate which areas of life you might want to focus on when setting your goals. So the next page that we're going to get to is your intentions. And this is something that once you've completed your compass, you might think about those areas of life, and you're going to answer these prompts. So the questions are, what could I use more of in my life this year? What could I use less of in my life this year? What characteristics would I like to nurture this year? 3 habits I want to develop this year are, this year I will be more, I will do less, I will give myself grace for, I will let go of, I will embrace, and then you set your word of the year and also write what that word means to you. So let me grab my planner again. And here are my intentions from 2023. So I'm bearing my soul to you. No, I'm comfortable sharing this, obviously. So the different things that I reflected on, the word of the year that I came up with was commit, and what that word means to me. People use their word of the year in a lot of different ways. Some people will like purposefully use this word when setting their goals so that it kind of like reinforces it. Honestly, this year commit didn't stick really strongly with me. I never found a way to like just have it really stick and resonate. In past years, one of my word of the year was progress. I'll put this against not a white background. And this word resonated with me so much that I had it made into this acrylic, you know, physical word of the year. So, you know, don't stress too much about choosing your word of the year. Sometimes it's going to really resonate with you and sometimes it might not. That's okay. Okay, we're going to flip back. So you set your intentions, and then it is time to set goals. So all of that pre-work is kind of getting you in the right mindset of what types of goals, which areas of life you might want to focus on. This page shows some examples of ways to phrase your goals that are more positive. So instead of saying like, get rid of clutter, you'd say, clean my garage this weekend. basically turning something that might be negative into a positive of the progress you're making towards that goal. And then here it talks about being more specific. So instead of saying exercise more, say go to the gym 3 times this week. So making it specific and measurable so that you can determine whether you achieved that goal or not. And then there's 3 different types of goals. So there's plenty of information to read here. I'll go over these just kind of briefly. Stretch goals are things that are a stretch for you to accomplish. You're not going to have more than maybe like 1 or 2 of these per year, honestly. They're things you're going to have to work really, really hard to accomplish, and maybe you won't accomplish them, and that's okay because they were a stretch goal. Progress goals are thinking back to your compass assessment. These are things that you're trying to move an area of life up in. So like when you saw my planner for this year, my health and wellness was my lowest scoring area. So that would be an area that I want to have progress towards because I wanted to move that score up by the end of the year. Maintenance goals, the areas of life that I mentioned that I wanted to keep exactly the same, that's what maintenance goals are. I don't want those areas to drop. I don't want to forget about them. I want to make sure that they stay healthy and, you know, where they are. And so I'm just maintaining them. So those are the 3 types of goals that you can write. These pages help you with just some like tips and steps of how to write different kinds of goals. So annual goals, which are your long-term visions, monthly goals, a chunk down and a check-in from your annual goals, and then weekly actions, which are actions, tasks, and habits that will help you achieve your monthly goals. So this basically just gives you tips and, you know, steps of things to consider when you're writing these 3 different types of goals, which you'll do. I mean, annual goals you'll only do once, but monthly goals you'll do every month, weekly you'll do every week. And it's always great to read through these as often as you can. I mean, you get to the point where these are just kind of ingrained in you, so when you get to your weekly actions, you don't need to come and reread this every week, but it is also helpful. And then every week in the MakseLife system, you'll reflect on how your week went. And there's questions that it prompts you to answer. So that the questions are, what are my wins? What worked? What didn't work? What lessons did I learn? What adjustments do I need to make moving forward? And I know this may seem overwhelming. I'm going to show you all of this in example in my planner. But let's talk about annual goals for right now. So these are each area of life. Like I mentioned, there's 8 areas of life in the MakseLife system, and I'm going to bring this up close so you can at least see a couple of them. So for example, spiritual and personal growth. When I first was introduced to the MakseLife system, I was a little bit concerned about that one because I'm personally not a religious or spiritual person. And so I was like, oh gosh, what am I going to have in that area? Well, I started looking at this. Do I have gratitude, personal development, reflection, compassion for self, compassion for others? Of course I have these things, and of course I want to work on those things. So I think you'll find that any area of life in here, you will find something that resonates with you, and you might just have to learn what area your goals map to. So this is basically just a brainstorming page. You can be messy on here, try and, you know, kind of map out some of your ideas for your goals. And then here is where you put your annual goals down on paper. So this is dot grid. Bring it up so you can see. So that means that you can either, you know, use it to write as you kind of would traditionally in lines, or you can also, you know, kind of like do mind maps and more abstract things. Dot grid is really freeing in that way. So for each area of life, you will set a focus, and then you'll answer, how will my life improve by reaching these personal goals? So for example, one of my personal goals this year was to leave the house. I work from home now, and so unless I find reason to leave the house, I find that I can stay home for a really long time and turn into a bit of a hermit, and it ends up affecting my mental health. So I might have an annual goal of leave the house, you know, 3 times a week. Well, why is that important? which is always the thing you want to go back to when you're setting your goals. The reason that's important is because my mental health suffers if I don't do this. So reflecting on the why is really important, because ultimately that's the reason that we're working on these goals. No one cares if I leave the house 3 times a week, but do I care if my mental health suffers if I don't? Yeah. So these are the first 4 areas of life, and here are the other 4. And let me show you my annual goals for this year. And just to mention, nothing changed in the goal setting from 2023 to 2024. So what you're seeing here as examples of my goals, like, it's exactly the same. The pages will be the same. So these are the goals that I set in the first 4 areas of life. I track my work stuff at work, so I don't do any of it in my MACSE life. And then here are the other 4. And I actually recorded a YouTube video yesterday where I flipped through my 2020, 2021, 2022, and my 2023 planners, and show all of my annual goals, like pretty much all my weekly spreads, everything. So there have been years where my goals were like super detailed and like listed out, kind of like check offable and whatnot. And then this year you see they're more just kind of like concepts that I want to focus in on, and I break them down each month. There's no right or wrong way, whatever works for you. Okay, so once you've set your annual goals, you have an opportunity to make a vision board. In the past, I've done this, you know, with clippings from magazines. I've done it online digitally. You can do anything. I often will include photographs of friends or family or places that I really love that kind of inspire me and make me want to, you know, accomplish my goals so that I can go there or see that. It's a place to be completely creative. And then there's some quick tips for goal setting. So this booklet, and when I say this booklet, it's really this booklet, or in the flagship, this first tabbed section. You see these pages are all the same. You recognize everything here. These, like I said, are across all the different systems. So no matter what what system you're choosing, you're gonna have the same way to set your annual goals. So with the companion notebooks, at this point, you'd kind of put this to the side, and then you have 4 notebooks to work out of for the year. And so 1 for each quarter. So first quarter comes. These, by the way, this is a really nice, I think they call it leatherette. It's a durable material. It's pretty thick. You could, you know, carry these in a bag and they're not gonna get banged up or whatever. One thing to mention with the companion notebooks is everything is perforated, and that includes pages in here. Only the companion notebooks have this perforation, and the idea is that you'll see here when we get to some of the goal setting pages, you might want to tear it out and put it in like the pocket of the planner that you do use so that you can reference it easily and have it with you at all times. That's actually kind of why the flagship is recommended the most, is to have your plans and goal setting together is the way that Sierra has found to be most successful for people to achieve goals. Okay, so in the quarterly notebooks, you're gonna have a monthly overview. This is undated, so you're gonna either need to write in the month name and the dates. You could buy sticker kits. You can, you know, do however creative way you want to complete this, depending on what, you know, how deep you want to get into the planning world. And then each month, you're going to set your monthly goals. So you have a focus, and then, you know, you'll write your goals. And when you do this, you'll refer to your annual goals to pull from. And then remember, there were also tips in here about how to set your monthly goals. So you'll want to reference those so that you learn how to use this system and use it effectively. And then you jump into weekly. So you set your weekly actions for the week. And again, you would refer back to your monthly goals to determine what you want to have in your week. And remember, this notebook has tips about how to set your weekly actions. And The two prompts that Sierra always talks about that I always like to keep in mind for weekly actions is what do I need to do and what is required of me. So what is it that I need to do for myself for this week to be successful? And then is there anything required of me from external people, pets, forces, whatever it may be, that I have to get done this week, you know, in order to contribute to my family or whatever it may be. So once you have set your weekly actions, then you go about your week, and when your week is complete, you reflect on them. And so the way that you reflect, I mentioned before, there are questions that you ask. So you ask, what wins did you have? What worked? What didn't work? What lessons did you learn? And what adjustments are needed? And then you take those lessons and learnings and use it when you're setting your next weekly actions. So there's going to be 5 of these per month, because there's some months that could have up to 5 weeks. There's a bookmark in here, by the way. All of the books have them. All of the companion notebooks have them, I should say. It's like a ribbon. So you have 5 of these, and then you get to the end of the month and you have an opportunity to reflect on the month. So you can rate it from 1 to 10, and then there's some different questions that you answer about it. And you have a notes page here that you could use for a to-do list, you know, a brain mapping, brainstorming, let your kids draw on it, whatever you want. And then you start another month, and there's going to be one other month in here. Let's flip to it. Here it is. So you have 3 months worth of goal setting, and then you get to your quarterly assessment. So at this point, you're at the end of a quarter. And so if you think back to that compass assessment that we did in our annual goals, at this point, you're ready to do your first quarterly assessment. And the cool thing is you fill it out and you say what your current scores are, and then you compare it to your previous. And overall, did your scores increase or decrease or stay the same? And then there's some questions here to reflect on why they may have increased or decreased, or, you know, what happened there. It's always interesting to compare those. And then after that, you just have some notes pages. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 front and back notes pages. And then you also have a folder here that you could store whatever you like. This piece of paper doesn't make sense because it's not the size that would fit in here, but I just want to show what the folder looks like. So you could store some sticker sheets or notes or to-do lists or bills or whatever you want back here. And so all 4 of these notebooks are identical in contents, and then you have your one annual goal setting portion, and this makes up what is called the companion notebook set. And again, this is $58. So let's set this aside and talk about the flagship planner. So this is the MACKENZIE flagship planner. Just a few features. So it has this elastic that goes on here to keep it closed and secure. It has a standard coil that is new this year. In previous years, there was a wire O binding. It has obviously a front and back cover. There's a plate back here, just it says MACKENZIE. And there's 8 different covers that you can choose from. This one is called MACKENZIE, and I will show you the 4 that I have, so you can just see what they look like. But let's jump in here and you can see how the flagship works. So each cover has a different interior page. It does come with a snap-in bookmark. So you can obviously move this bookmark to wherever you want. It says today at the top, so you would put it in the week that is today. All right, so you have your name page. This is the same welcome from Sierra, and I'm gonna skip this entire first tab because this is the goal setting that we just saw in the companion notebooks. Same thing. But remember, this is a dated product, so the tabs here have the months on it. So this is January, and obviously it's gonna have your dates filled in for you. It's not something you need to do. So for each month, you'll have your monthly overview that you can use however you'd like. You have your opportunity to set your monthly goals. And then here we go into weekly actions, just like we saw in the companion notebooks. And here is the thing that is not part of the companion notebooks that makes the flagship what it is, which is the planning pages. So this is a vertical planner. I'll show you a horizontal planner here in a minute, but basically each day has a column that you would use to plan that day. And then over here you have an opportunity to list habits that you want to work on that week, and you can check them off for each day of the week. And then once that week is complete, you have your opportunity to reflect on that week. Again, a reminder of the wins, what worked, what didn't work, lessons learned, adjustments needed. And because this is dated, it'll always have like the right amount of pages per month. It won't have like the 5 because there could be 5 weeks. It's going to be exactly what you need. And at the end of the month, you're going to have the monthly reflections, just like we saw in the companion notebooks, that you, again, 1 through 10, rate your month. And at the end of a quarter, you are going to have your quarterly compass, just like we saw in the companion notebooks. This will be dated. It says Q1 because we know that the end of March is the end of Q1. And then this just goes through the entire year. So, you know, all of the months of the year. We get to December at the end of Q4, there's another compass. This can bleed into kind of the same as your compass for Q1 of the next year, but I think it's included here in case, you know, you only use the MACSELife system for 1 year or whatever. And then at the back of the planner, this tab says extras. So this has a 2024 and a 2025 overview, as well as a place to list important dates. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 notes pages, front and back. And then we have a folder here, and this is good durability. Like, it would be hard to tear this. And it's both sides, so you can store, I store stickers in mine. You get this sheet of stickers. These correspond to the areas of life. So if you remember, like I mentioned, financial is green. Each of these is an area, and, you know, some extra stickers here to kind of use however you'd like. And then back here you have another folder. And again, this is nice and durable. It's, you know, it's thick. And that is your flagship planner. Flagship planners are $78 each. And let me show you the 4 that I have, just so you can see the covers. The only thing that changes is the cover, and then whether you choose horizontal or vertical. This cover, as a reminder, is called Moxie. This one is called Radiant. And both of these were designed by an artist, Allison Jansen. So every year MACSELife likes to do artist collaborations for their covers. This one is called Shine, and originally I glanced at this cover and was kind of like, I mean, I love purple and pink, it's great, whatever, but then I saw this, it has Shine Bright on there. When I get married, my last name is going to be Bright, so I had to pick this up. And then the last one, this is Messy Bits, and these all have the elastics, I just have them like off because I flipped through them a bunch for reviews. And this says Embrace the Messy Bits. The same kind of design onto the back with the back plate. So this one happens to be in horizontal. So let me show you. This is what take the stack down so that you can see. This is what a horizontal planner looks like. To determine whether you'd like a horizontal or vertical, if you're someone who thinks very time-based, like, you know, I go to work and then I do some after work activities and then I have evening things, and it's, you know, kind of like you think of your day from start to end, I recommend vertical. If you're someone who just, like, you know, you might journal throughout the day, or you might have to-do lists that aren't really time-based, horizontal can be a great way to go. So I haven't used a horizontal in a few years at this point. There'll be other people who are reviewing MACSELife products who have used it more recently. I would recommend checking their content out to see examples of horizontal, but let me show you a few examples of vertical. This is my current 2023. So again, we have the wire row binding. So let's jump to September. This is current, my September goals. So I have my monthly goals in here. And this is a couple weeks ago. So these are weekly actions that I set. This is the planning that I did. I use sticker kits every single week. So my planners actually get really bulky because of that. And then these are the reflections from that week. So again, the prompts that I have mentioned a couple different times at this point. Here's another week, another sticker kit. This one is quite flashy, and another opportunity to do reflections. And I have a couple more. This is last week. Well, actually, today is Sunday, so this is just wrapping up. I haven't done my reflections yet. This is this upcoming week, and I actually did a reel about this on Instagram. I used some of the new releases that are coming out on here. So like this is the washi tape that's coming out. This also is some of the washi tape. You'll notice this matches one of the flagship covers. So I wanted to play around with some of the new products. So this is just a few examples of how I have planned in my vertical planner. I have, like I said, flip throughs of 2020 through 2023 MACSELife planners on a previous video. So I would recommend checking those out to get a better idea of how I use my planner. Okay, so for accessories, I want to talk about briefly what you might like. So if you're going with companion notebooks, the accessory that I would recommend you absolutely get is a folio. This folio comes in 6 different colors this year. Let me show you the colors really quick. I have 4 of them. So this one is Ballet Pink. This is Raspberry, Plum, and Teal. And the 2 colors I don't have are gray and navy. And the folios are $48. So the way that you would use the folio with the companion notebooks, let me show you how this goes together. So this is the inside of the folio. By the way, this, like it's not leather, it's vegan leather, but it feels like leather. It's so soft and nice. I love this. This is a great product. And the inside is more like you could wipe this clean type material. So you have card slots here, a little folder here, a place to tuck something there, another folder here, another place to tuck something, and then 4 cords to thread your notebooks through. So I tried this out earlier. This is the way that I would set it up if I were using this. I would put my annual goal notebook in here. You're gonna see me struggle just a little bit because it's new and it's tight, but this also kind of shows the durability of these notebooks, frankly. Like if this wasn't a strong cover, that would have bent and gone, you know, all haywire in there. So this makes it where this is really nice and easy to reference. And then for each of these, if you've never set up a system like this, you find the middle of the notebook, grab one of the bands, thread it on, and then just repeat. And this would be your folio setup. And there's also a pen loop. So it closes and it has room to spare. I've put another notebook in here and it'll still fit. So you've got plenty of room in here. The closure is really nice this year. Obviously there's the snap, but there's also magnets right here. So if you see, I'll kind of get this close and it'll magnet down. So between the magnet and the snap, it's very secure. Really nice. It's hefty, but it's durable and it's really nice material. So again, the folio itself is $48. The companion notebooks are $58. And if you went this way, the other accessory that's going to be useful for just about any planner is the sticky note booklet. I've been playing with the sticky notes, so that's why it's kind of crooked. This is $22, and there's 30 of each sticky note in here. And again, these are the areas of life color, and then just some different other, you know, shaped stickies. These fit really well in the monthly view of the flagship planner. And that's when I showed this sheet briefly. This is some of the color coding available to you with MäksēLife. So there's Moxie markers. These have already been out for a good amount of time now. They are double-ended. One side has a chisel tip and the other has a bullet tip. And I've swatched them here so you can kind of see how they perform. There is rainbow washi tape, which I've swatched here. As you see, there's kind of a light and a dark version. It all comes together in this really cool ring. So you can like hang this off of a planner bag. And this is $25, the washi is. And like I said, there's 2 rolls of washi, 2 different colors for each area of life. So like this is family and relationships. The mini sticky notes that I have swatched here, there's 2 different variations. There's a pastel and there's also a bold. And these are $14 each, sold separately. And then finally, as mentioned before, the sticky note booklet is $22. Additionally, I do want to mention, if you choose a flagship, I would definitely recommend this accessory, which is the bookmark trio. This is $16. So the way that this works, you have your today bookmark that comes with the planner. You do your goal setting, as we've talked about. And one of these bookmarks is used to mark your annual goals. And then we'll say it's May. You would have a place here to mark your monthly goals. And let's jump, we'll say it's this week in May. So here I'm gonna mark my weekly actions. And then you have yet another bookmark to mark the day that you're on. This makes it really easy to flip to, you know, my weekly actions, my monthly goals, and my annual goals. And they all kind of peek out at the top. It's gonna be hard to see that. Let's see if I open the planner maybe. But you can see it in person. You can read each one and see what they say and where you want to flip to. So again, those bookmarks are $16. If you're getting a flagship, they're not necessary, but I would recommend it. It's going to make things a lot easier for you. And then one thing I wanted to mention also, if you spend $100 and you order before October 3rd, you get this 2023 Reflections notebook for free. And this is basically an opportunity for you to look back at this current year that we're in and reflect about it. So you actually have another compass assessment, a place to talk about your wins for the entire year, your highlights, challenges, lessons, growth, gratitude, what's working, what's not, impact, adjustments, reflections, kind of work booked out, a letter to yourself, and then some blank pages to brain dump other things, maybe goals that you want to set for 2024, whatever it may be. And I had one of these from 2022 and filled it out, and it really helped me in setting my 2023 goals. And then I ended up stashing it in the back of my folder in the back of the planner, just so that I would have it there to reference. So if you're buying a flagship that's $78 and then you add on another accessory, you're gonna hit that $100 mark pretty quickly, and then you'll get this Reflections for free if you order before October 3rd. Otherwise, this is available for $10. Okay, so really quick, I just wanna take you through, this is the 2024 product guide, and this is available in the MäksēLife Facebook group, which is an open Facebook group for you to join. I wanna draw your attention to a couple of things. One, this video that you're watching is part of the Moxie Review Crew. So if you go to hashtag Moxie Review Crew on any of the social media platforms, you'll find other people who are also reviewing MäksēLife content. I recommend watching those, particularly if they, use a horizontal or use digital, or, they're gonna have different ideas about accessories that I haven't even thought of. I'm excited to go watch the other Review Crew videos. And then let me just go through the different products. So the flagship planner, as we talked about, is $78. Here's a quick glance at some of the covers that you didn't see. This one is called Fresh Start. This is Moxie. This is Just Begin. It's another artist cover with Julie Garza. Messy Bits. Radiant. Unstoppable is another artist cover with Aaron Vossler. Shine. And Legacy. And Legacy is really great. Like if you work someplace conservative and you want to take your planner in and you really need it to not be flashy, this is a great option. If I got this, frankly, I would cover it in decal stickers and have fun with it that way. So. The companion notebooks that I showed you, so there's the two different color variants, and these are $58 and an undated product. Dot grid notebooks, show you these real quick. This is what they look like. They're very similar to the companion notebooks. I think they're actually the same. Yeah, they have a bookmark. They're dot grid. That's the only thing, is they're blank basically. So it's hard to see the dots, but there you go. So they're dot grid for you to use however you want. These are 3 new colors. There's other colors that have been available on the website, and these are $12 each. The Reflections notebook that I mentioned that is free with orders over $100 before the 3rd of October. Club Moxie binder. If you're brand new to MäksēLife, like, let's hang on a second. You can learn about Club Moxie at another time, but my other video does talk about it some if you want to jump over there. The vegan leather folios, the 6 different colors that I mentioned, these are $48 each. Then the accessories. So I showed you the rainbow washi tape set. It comes in this really nice packaging. It's really like opening a gift. Is $25. The mini sticky notes are $14 each in 2 different color variants. The sticky note booklet is $22. The bookmarks are $16. And then there is this decorative washi that's obviously based on the different covers of the planners. So this is what that washi looks like. And I'll grab a sheet there where I have it swatched. Here you go. So this is a better view of that washi. And so it has the cover, and then this is basically a copy of the inside pages for that cover. This is the Moxie, this is the Radiant, and this is the Shine. And the last thing on this page is a wish list. So this is my opportunity to ask you, what do you plan on ordering? If you're brand new to the MäksēLife system, I hope this helped you understand how it's used, the way that you set goals. And as I mentioned, if you want to take a look at my video that I uploaded yesterday, it's quite long because I go through, like 4 years of planners. But you can see how the system has worked for me and been successful for me in accomplishing some of my goals. So if you choose to shop the MäksēLife launch this year, I have an affiliate link listed below. And if you use that link, I earn a small commission back from it. You also can use my coupon code in order to save you a little bit of money. So if you choose to do that, I appreciate it. There's other affiliates out there as well, so feel free to support them. However you want to do that is up to you. And I just want to try and help you make an informed decision about the things you would like to purchase from launch this year. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to either drop them in the comments or hit me up on Instagram, McKenzie the Planner. I'm there as well, and I would be happy to answer questions that you might have about launch. I've been sending people pictures of, you know, planner combinations and, you know, all kinds of different things, trying to help them just have as much information as they need to make a decision. So I hope that you have a great time with the MakseLife launch. Don't get overwhelmed by the consumerism, especially if you're new to the system. I hope that you find something that you love. Remember to start small. Grab a flagship, grab an accessory, and go from there and see what you think about the MakseLife system. The price point is high, but it is also a planner and a goal system in one. And so it's kind of like buying two products at once. But you know, don't go crazy feeling like you need to buy every single accessory that exists. Find out if you're going to use it before you make that investment. That's my recommendation anyway. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more MakseLife, as well as stickering and organizing and all kinds of other content. I'm still growing my YouTube channel, but I'd love for you to be here for it. So I will see you next time. Bye.